Now we move on to staff reports. We have community board delegations, and I'd like to invite, now I'm not sure, is it John Fussell or?
John Fussell.
Are you taking us through the paper, John?
Yes, I can, Leanne.
Yeah, look, thank you very much. And can I just acknowledge the work that has been done on this? I know that it's been very challenging for our community boards, and this is one of the purposes of today's meeting, was to get this on the agenda quickly so that people could see the way forward for restoring our community boards to their local decision-making role. So thank you, John, if you'd like to take us through that.
Thank you, Leanne. Over alert levels 4 and 3 respectively, community boards to one extent or another have been meeting via audio-visual links informally. The board chairs have also been meeting as a group with staff. As we have moved into alert level 3, certainly there is a will from community board chairs, board members, and feedback that we're getting from stakeholders that community boards should have their delegations reinstated and should begin meeting again. This report recommends that happen from 11:59 on the 18th of May. This gives community board chairs, members and staff sufficient time to prepare, to discuss priorities, to discuss safe working arrangements, to discuss how to communicate with and involve the community in the public in order to get meetings up and running. We expect from about the 2nd of June onwards, with each board having its first meeting from the 2nd of June to roughly the 16th of June. I am happy to discuss or take any questions members may have on this report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, I haven't seen any questions come through. Does anyone have any questions, or would you like me to just go straight to debate? I think people were quite keen just to...
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry, Leanne, I didn't have time to email it through. It's just on the attachment A, John, and it's page 14 when you're describing the delegations there. And of course it's to do with the Papanui Innes Community Board making decisions regarding a rebuild and future management of a community centre at Shirley Road. I think we should also have the St Albans Community Centre in there that's currently under construction.
Councillor Cotter, this report simply covers the reinstatement of existing delegations. It has not explored or does not intend to explore the detail of any of those delegations. In order to do this properly and in order to involve the boards in that process, particularly the board chairs, we don't propose to make any changes to delegations. We'd like to keep the matter straightforward and simply reinstate the delegations that were suspended on March the 24th and not make changes. To make changes may introduce a layer of complexity, and at this stage I couldn't guarantee that we would have community board input into any changes that we may make. So I'd probably recommend we don't go there.
Okay, and so if community boards do want to make changes to delegations along the way, say they get new projects happening, they will be addressed on a case-by-case basis. Would that be correct?
Yeah, through normal processes.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, John.
Right. I can't... Is there any other questions?
I have one question.
Sorry, I haven't seen anyone. Oh, right. Okay. Yes, it's just come through. I've actually got Yanni and then Jimmy.
Cool, thank you. I just wanted to check what
You
resourcing
seem
was
to be very
required.
quiet. Is your microphone in good place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. I just wanted to
Oh, that's
check
better.
in terms of what resources were required. It says that the costs include the provision of physical and information technology infrastructure, and that this is already incurred as part of wider governance decision making. My understanding, like for example, our boardroom doesn't have the ability to have VMR, so we can't have virtual meetings. My understanding was prior to going into lockdown, we were having a work stream looking at what requirements were required to have virtual meetings at the boardrooms. So can you just give me some sense of what the plan is?
Well, can you also in there add whether we could make VMR facilities available at the council building, you know, for the central, you know, Heathcote and
Yeah, apparently
Linwood
that was
wards. We
last
may
week.
actually be able to use them as well. So, in terms of both, Yanni's is a longer term answer, but is there an immediate solution as well?
Look, thank you very much for those questions. Councillor Johansson's question, yes, there was a piece of work in progress on looking at the needs of every single boardroom. This report and the the reinstatement of community board delegations, again, does not aim to cross-reference that work. That's a separate piece of work that will take its own course and ultimately come back to council for decision making, and it's not the subject of this report. Moving on to
Sorry,
the
I don't think
question.
I was being clear.
Do you mind if I finish?
When the virus started to happen.
Hey, Yanni,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, but John Fulsell just said, do you mind if I finish?
Oh, sorry,
So
I couldn't hear properly.
just leave him to answer the question,
Yeah.
please, with respect.
Yeah,
Thank
I didn't
you.
hear him properly, sorry.
Thank you.
Look, apologies. I understand audio-visual communication is fraught at the best of times. If you note, recommendation 2 of the report is that myself and every board chair will be going through meeting procedures and protocols to ensure that we have effective and safe meetings. This includes looking at what locations are available, holding meetings in facilities that can provide safe meeting spaces under alert level 2 and can use the relevant audio-visual communications. So in answer to your question, Leanne and Yanni, if, for example, the Linwood boardrooms could not be used because they're incompatible technologically, we would explore using either the council chambers or a committee room here at Civic that was. We'd also offer the board the use of other facilities that may be available, but we certainly think we can accommodate the board here in Civic until alternative arrangements can be made. Probably just to note that the Linwood Central Heathcote Board may not be the only board affected by that consideration. So to start with, we'll all have to be accommodating.
Thank you. And now I've got Jimmy and then Sarah.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. My question is, if we recover the community board delegation and will be commenced from 18th of May, is a consistent to recover delegation or just some options? Because I'm concerned, for instance, like Lloyd and the Quarry in Templeton area. My understanding, Templeton the community strong request the community board can on their behalf continue to proceed in this issue, because back to the 2 years ago, council delegate to them on behalf of the council make the submission, to those the territorial authority. But now the final result has been come out whether we are consistent to delegate them to continue regarding to this issue or not. This is my particular concern, also community particular concern.
Thank you very much, Councillor Chen. I'd like to make a number of points. Firstly, to reiterate that this report is concerned with the resumption of delegations that were temporarily revoked. It does not intend to explore the priorities or non-priorities of each community board. I'd also like to say that on 2 occasions I've explored the date with community board chairs and have had support, and no board chair has said that this is untenable. Thirdly, the Royden Quarry, I understand that a paper is being prepared. Actually, I'm giving some signals. I understand that this matter may be dealt with in another forum that I'm really not at liberty to discuss at the moment.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Kia ora, thanks, John, and thanks for getting all the work together to get these delegations back. One of the things would be good to acknowledge in here, and it kind of follows on from what Pauline and Jimmy were asking, was just an acknowledgement that rather than ad hoc, we're actually going to be reviewing the board delegations again at some stage soon, and that there will be a delay because of the situation we're in. But part of the partnership agreement that we've got was that we would review the delegations.
Actually, I thought that we'd agreed, John, that there would be another recommendation to go with this one. Is that
just
been done?
And number 4, just to
Look,
to acknowledge that we'll be doing that.
Yeah, I think that
there were some unresolved matters from last time.
With the with the acceptance of the council, we could put a further note in the report acknowledging that under the provisions of the governance partnership agreement, community board delegations will be reviewed as part of an ongoing commitment.
Well, we will be reviewing community board delegations with them. So it's not something we're going to do to them. We're going to discuss it with them. So, but that's in accordance with the agreement. Joe, can you make sure that that's included? I don't know whether anyone has sent that through to you. I thought that it was going to be included as the actual resolutions.
We'll have a look at it right now.
Okay. Can we bring up the resolution on the screen? It's very difficult to.
It's Joe here. We're just in the process of doing that. So the wording we're proposing is note under the provisions of the governance agreement, governance partnership agreement, community board delegations will be reviewed further.
Yeah. Is it because there is an anticipation that it's a process that we're going through. Yeah. Is that sufficient, Sarah?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it was supposed to be within 6 months, but it's going to be delayed because there's been the current crisis. But just wanting to make sure that we don't drop the ball on that one, because there were some things unresolved from last time.
Well, who would like to have the joy of moving the resolution?
I would love to.
Sarah Templeton, who would like to second it?
I'd like to second it.
Pauline Cotter. Now I'm just going to run around the table and invite people to speak or to pass if they feel that others are contributing to the debate on their behalf. So, Councillor Jimmy Chen.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, quickly, that's very crucial. And thank you, the staff, to take the greater effort to recover the community board, those delegation, because after when the council revoked this one on the 24th of March, I heard from the community and the residents, they feel uncomfortable, difficult to engage with the local community board member because they are grassroots members. But now I'm so happy we take early stage, to set up those principles, and will be the comments fully cover the delegation on 13th of May and give the chair of community board more opportunity, to advertise their activities and a safe working environment engage with community. That's very, very good. You know, as a council, I think we are all fully support this staff recommendation. We're happy working together with the community board more closely, continue to benefit to the people and to the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Catherine Chu.
Fully support restoring local decision making back to community board, so I'll be voting in favour. Thank you.
Thank you. Melanie Coker.
Oh, thanks. I think this is a fabulous move, and I think I'm just really glad, Leanne, that you organised this extraordinary meeting for today, particularly for this purpose, so we could get community boards back and operating as they were before. So thanks very much.
Lovely. Pauline Cotter.
Yeah, I support those words, Melanie. Well said. Thank you for pushing this forward, and for the staff for doing all this work on it to get it to us today. And I know everyone's under a lot of pressure, but the community boards are very keen to get back together and be supported, just to meet in some way. I know that they won't be able to have the complete workload that they have had up till now, but that will build again. And community boards are the face of the community for us. They're really important, and I fully support this today. Thank you.
Thank you. James Daniels.
Kia ora tātou. Shout out to the Waitai Coastal Burwood Community Board. We've been meeting informally over the last few weeks, and we look forward to making some decisions on behalf of our local community. Peace out. I vote in favour.
Thank you. Mike Davidson.
No debate required for this.
Anne Galloway.
Thank you. Just to appreciate once again, show appreciation for the work being done by the staff to have got us to this. It's well received, and also I think it's been an amazing positive outcome has been looking at how we can connect people to community board meetings in a way that doesn't mean that they have to come in. So we've got a whole new world opened up, which means that people can connect digitally, which has been a really positive thing. So we can have more involvement in community decision making. So thank you for the work that's been done, and totally supportive of this today.
Thank you. James Goff.
No need to debate. It's pretty straightforward. Thanks.
Thank you. Yanni Johansson.
Thank you. I too wish to commend this report coming to Council today. I think it is absolutely fundamental that we restore local democracy as soon as we can, and I think this is a step towards it. I would note that I do have some concern over clause number 3, and I would really hope that we look out of this terrible time at the opportunity to look at more localised service provision, and I think there is a piece of work that needs to happen in conjunction with number 3, is to look at how we can get decisions being made locally and putting service back into our local service centres, because there is a huge frustration at things before we went into this time period of things not being delivered, and now obviously with the challenges we face, that delay is going to be even longer, and we also do know from our resident survey some of the feedback that we've been getting. So I think there's a real opportunity under 3 to look at how we can do things, have more localised staff serving the community and the community board. But I do think it's an important step today to give the delegations back, and let's work on the other stuff over the next few weeks. Thank you.
Karen Keown.
Yeah, totally supportive.
Sam McDonald.
Yeah, supportive, no debate needed.
Jake McClellan.
Also supportive, also no debate.
Phil Major.
Yeah, no debate for me, thanks, Leanne.
Tim Scandrett.
Yeah, very supportive. And I want to just shout out to our governance support staff who have been outstanding with these difficult times. And more than happy to support.
Andrew Turner.
Thank you. Yeah, I welcome and support this. Thanks to staff for the work that's been done to get this paper prepared so quickly and on the agenda for today. I know the community boards will be absolutely delighted to have the delegations returned. And of course, the boards are going to have a particular role to play in the economic and social recovery. As boards and as individual board members, they hold close and deep relationships with their communities, with our communities, and that will be immensely valuable as we move through the next period. I'm also sure that the community boards will be very willing to work with the organisation, realising any capacity constraints and that things are quite different than they were a few weeks ago. So certainly welcome this, very supportive of it.
So thank you. Before I get Sarah to close the debate, I'll just simply say that this is an important milestone in our city's recovery, going back to a governance arrangement that is serving our city well, but actually focuses local decisions at the local community board table is a really good idea. And if anyone wants a reason why it was an entire hour spent on a debate on Perth Street, not that the issue wasn't important, not that the result wasn't a good result, but that debate should have been happening at the community board, and I'm really pleased it got resolved, but it really does emphasise the importance of getting back to local decision making at that local level. So Sarah.
I think that's all the closing we needed. No debate from me.
Thank you very much. All right, so I will put the motion. All those in favour say aye.
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 Those opposed say no. That's carried unanimously. Thank you very much. And thank you. A big shout out to all of our community boards.
Thank you very much, councillors. That's great.
Yeah. Thank you, John. Thanks for the team's work. Look, I